Hey guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. So this is gonna be my 36-week update with my third baby, and this will probably be the last update for this baby because I am being induced soon. So the last time I talked to you guys, I want to say that I told you, unless you watched the hospital video, then you'll know the real date, but I want to say in my last update, I still was thinking that I was being induced on the 20th. And so I announced that. And there was a confusion. There was a mix-up. I didn't understand what the scheduling lady was trying to tell me, because I went and told her what the doctor wanted me to do, which was start the induction process on the 17th and then start the Pitocin on the 18th. But then the scheduling lady, she made it sound like that wasn't possible, and because I don't start inductions on Friday, even though the actual day the doctor wanted me to start was Thursday. Anyways, I swear, guys, she had me thinking it was the 20th. And then one day I just randomly decided to go look in my online chart, which has all of my appointments and all that. And then I was like, hold on, what is going on here? Because it said cervical ripening, 5 o'clock on the 17th. And so I was like, well, maybe they are gonna put in the balloon and have me go home, because I know sometimes that's what happens with people, but from the tons of videos I've watched, that you usually only do that in other countries. It seems like here, when you go in, if you start anything to do with medicine and stuff, then you're staying. So I was like, this is so confusing. So I asked my doctor the next day because I happened to have an appointment, and she said, no, yeah, you would bring your stuff, and when you come in that night, you'll be staying the night. And so turns out, guys, I'm being induced, or I'm having the cervical ripening on Thursday, and I'm being fully induced on Friday. Now, this does depend on how my appointment goes tomorrow. If I am more dilated, which I was only a 1 last Tuesday, but if I am more dilated, I don't know how much she wants me to be, but if I'm more dilated, we can probably skip the cervical ripening and just go in early on Friday morning. I almost hope I'm not, just because I'm ready to be there. I'm ready to get started. I want the baby to be monitored. Everything's just starting to make me nervous for the baby. For myself, I'm literally not nervous. I'm not nervous at all for the birth. I never am until until they start the Pitocin, because then I know I'm about to have some pain and all that, and you never know how it's gonna go. I am anxious for the baby though, so I'm really just ready to be there and have the baby monitored, know the heart rate is good and all that. So I'll be glad if I'm more dilated. It's exciting that your body is doing it on its own, but if I'm so much dilated that she's like, oh, we can cancel that and you can just come in Friday, it's just longer that I have to wait to really get started. But either way, it's okay, because then I can literally just stay home that night in my own bed, and that'll be one less night we're in the hospital. So it's not a big deal either way, but I am so ready to be there. Anyways, so that, I just wanted to get that out of the way first. I'm super excited. Today, actually, I don't know if I said this, but I'm 36 weeks and 3 days today. When I start the cervical ripening, I'll be 36 days and 6 days. 36 weeks and 6 days. So the official induction will start when I'm 37 weeks. And that is just insane to me. I've never had a baby this early, so it's kind of scary. I'm like, will the baby be ready? All that stuff. So yeah, it does scare me a little bit, especially with the baby being so tiny because of the intrauterine growth restriction, and hoping that the baby tolerates Pitocin and it doesn't end up in a C-section. That is the one thing I'm worried about for myself, because I've never had one, and I definitely don't want an emergency C-section, but I really don't want a C-section at all. So I'm just really praying this induction goes quickly and smoothly. Other than that, to talk about symptoms, it's just pretty much the same as usual. I just have indigestion super bad. The actual burning and stuff is not nearly as bad as it was since I've been on they're called protonics. So since I've been on that medication, it's been so much better, but it still is super frustrating because when I eat food, it just it feels like it's just here with me for twice as long as when I'm not pregnant. It's so annoying. I can't stand it. I have to make sure I don't eat at least 2 hours before bedtime. Normally 3 is a lot better, because then if I lay down, I literally have to keep sitting up to burp, because it's the most annoying thing, but I can lay down and feel like I need to burp, and I cannot while I'm laying down. So then I have to keep sitting up, and it oh my gosh, it's infuriating. there's that. There's the throwing up usually most mornings still. We're at almost 400 times of throwing up because yes, I counted them to compare with how many times I threw up with Mason, which was like 250 something. So this one was horrific. Just the uncomfortableness that's starting to come like a lot more. It feels like a lot heavier down here and more pressure when I walk for too long and stuff like that, which is just what happens when you're this far along. I have had Braxton Hicks with this baby that I've actually noticed, whereas with the other two, I know I did have some, but I didn't know that's what they were, like, until a doctor like pointed one out to me with Serenity. But even after that, like, I didn't even notice when I was having them, but this time they're very obvious. So I have had those this time. What else? Like I've said before, my skin has just been ridiculously dry this whole pregnancy. It's not been as bad lately, but there were weeks when I would get in the bath and the water would irritate my legs so much. I literally just wanted to freaking like rip my skin off. Nothing like new, nothing crazy. One thing actually that has been really irritating this week. If you guys have ever had restless leg syndrome, it's like the most irritating thing, because you can get super comfortable and you're like, okay, I'm good now, I'm good. And then you're laying there still, and immediately your nerves just feel like they're like down your legs, and like you feel like you have to move them, because sitting still and feeling that is horrible. I have had a lot of restless leg syndrome in this pregnancy, but I have felt that in my arms several nights this last week, to the point where it's just because of how much I'm waking up. I'm waking up so much because I'm so uncomfortable, and I switch sides every single time I wake up. And then every time I get up, I also have to go pee because my bladder feels like it's gonna fall out of my body, even if I only have to pee like this much. So anyways, I wake up and shift positions so often that I finally just woke up at like 2 a.m, and both of my arms were just like, that just felt like my muscles were so just irritated, and like both of them were sore. Like I didn't want to lay on either side. I don't sleep on my back, because when I sleep on my back, I like swallow, spit, and like choke, which started with like Mason, and I can't even do it not pregnant now because I literally will choke. I actually was supposed to be checked for sleep apnea, but my insurance would not cover it, even though that my doctor literally put that I have it so they would cover it. They still denied it. So, because yeah, there was at one point in time where I was literally waking up feeling like I couldn't breathe every single night for like weeks, maybe even months, and I don't know. I'd really like to be checked for it. But anyways, so I can only lay on my sides, and I woke up and I just like, I was so frustrated. I felt so sore and like so bothered. Like arms just felt so irritated. So I had to get in the bath at 2 a.m. to like the hot water. Thank goodness, hot baths are so therapeutic for me and anything I'm going through. They helped with my nausea. They help anytime I'm sick with any kind of anything. They help so much. They helped with my restless leg syndrome. Thank goodness, after I took a bath, my muscles relaxed a lot and I was able to fall back to sleep. But then I had the same issue the next night. So at 3 o'clock the next morning, I was also taking a bath. I've been okay the last couple nights, but oh my goodness, it is so irritating. I can't stand when people tell you to enjoy your sleep while you can when the baby's not here, because I've had 2 kids now, and I can tell you I sleep 1,000 times better when they're here. Even if I'm very lacking in sleep, the sleep that I do get is so much better, and I don't wake up feeling like trash every time like I have to check on the baby. Like, yeah, I'm exhausted, but I don't feel like disgusting and in pain and like my muscles are going crazy. Like I feel normal, just tired, and I'll take that over whatever this is. I only have to deal with it for a couple more nights though, which is insane. The baby is, like I've said before, it's just my most moving baby. So active, extremely responsive to touch. I've never had, like, the other 2 moved well. Like I could always feel them, but this one, you can literally poke it and I'll get a kickback like every single time. And times when I'm not poking or whatever, the baby moves a lot too. And I found lately the baby's favorite time to move around is between 8 and 9, which was exactly how Mason was at this point in my pregnancy. And I think it's kind of like a telltale sign of this is like their pattern, and this is a time that they will probably like to be awake until you change that and fix their schedule, which 8 to 9 is not too bad. That's fine, as long as the baby's not favorite time to be awake isn't like 11 or 12. because I like to be asleep by like 10:30 at night. No idea what the weight is. My apps are so off right now because they estimate that the baby's like 6 pounds or 6.5 pounds, and I know fully well that my baby is probably not even 4.5 pounds. I'm hoping that is wrong. I'm hoping the baby is like 5 pounds. And that's crazy to say I hope for a 5-pound baby. I never thought I would make a baby this small because my babies have both been close to 8. But, you know, it is what comes with growth restriction and my baby being literally below the first percentile. But small baby does not mean unhealthy. The baby will develop according to their gestational age, and 37 weeks is considered term. It used to be considered full term, but now they just call it term, and 39 weeks is considered full term, so I won't be making it too full term. But they just learned in the past 10 years or so that last 2 weeks can be really helpful for lung development, because sometimes 37, 38 weeks is still too early and a baby's lungs aren't ready. So I'm hoping that even if the baby's super small, there aren't like a bunch of issues there. But like I said, I'm very scared that the baby's gonna come out and get taken away from me straight to the NICU, and that's gonna, like, that makes me really sad. It's not the worst thing, especially if it's just for something like temperature regulation, blood glucose regulation, or things that are like that are pretty minor. But it's gonna be really, really hard to have carried this baby for 9 months and then not get to hold the baby on my chest like I did. I just scared myself so bad. I felt something on my shirt and I reached down and like threw it off, and it was this. And tell me that doesn't freaking look like a spider. Anyways, yeah, so I'm just, since this is my final update, this is going to be kind of a long one because I'm really going into detail about the things that I am nervous about. And I'm going to talk, like, specifically right now, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, these are the things that make me anxious for this birth. And I've already said it, but like, I'm going to put it all right here. So, number 1, I am absolutely, of course, terrified, and you're terrified every single time, even if it's a perfectly normal sized baby, terrified of that baby coming out and not crying and then like not being able to breathe. That's so scary because that can happen even with babies that are fine. Like, the cord can get wrapped around their neck and they can, like, that's so scary to me. I'm scared of that, of course. I am scared of the Pitocin lowering the baby's heart rate and having an emergency that way, to where I'm like quickly wheeled to have a emergency C-section, and then the baby comes out. Like, still I'm scared about the breathing, and then I'm scared to be cut open. You know, I am sad about the thought of the baby being taken away from me and not put on my chest right away, being able to like announce just the way that I want to. That's a bit more selfish of a worry, but I don't know, just waited so long and so many people don't know the gender or the name, and I really want to be able to swaddle the baby up and announce the gender, and just, I want everything to be okay. But there's that. And then I don't know a lot about this, but I'm scared of things like placental abruption, which, to be honest, I don't even entirely know what that is, but I know that it can kill you and the baby. And with my placenta being the thing that has a problem, I'm like, I don't know if that makes it more dangerous for me or not, but just, it's scary. That kind of thing is scary. I'm scared like there's gonna be an issue with getting the placenta out or something like that. But those are pretty much all the things that I'm worried about. I really, with my births, I'm just so excited, like I said, until they start the Pitocin, and then I get like 50% excited, 50% nervous, because I know the pain's gonna start, even though I want to get my epidural like pretty much as soon as I can this time, because with Mason that was way too close. But yeah, as of right now, as far as for myself, I'm just excited. I'm not scared. So anyways, that's pretty much everything I have to say. I'm gonna show you my belly. I guess this will be my last bump up, whatever you want to call it. So that makes me sad. I cannot believe that, but we're gonna see how big my belly ended up being after all this time. And then after this video, the next one will probably be the birth vlog. Hoping everything goes well. But okay, I'm gonna set this camera up the way I want to. First, I'm gonna show you with the shirt on. I don't know, it's gonna be harder to tell because I have black on, I guess, but oh well. Okay, here's from that side. And then from the other side. I'm still quite small. So now we're gonna go ahead and measure. This is the final measurement. Okay, from what I can tell, it looks like I ended right around 40.5 inches. So, yep, that's where we're at right now. And then I'll show you without the shirt. So here's the front. You can definitely tell I'm pregnant because it, like, you can see that how dark the creases have gotten. And then there is this side. Oh my gosh, this shirt is so annoying. Okay. I can't tell if I've dropped, honestly, but I do feel like I can breathe a little bit better lately. So I feel like baby is farther down, even if it visibly doesn't look like I've dropped. So there's that side. And then here is the other side. I can't even believe this is my last update where I get to show you my bump. That makes me sad. Like, this is so bittersweet. It makes me so happy that I'm almost done. Like, I cannot wait to be not pregnant anymore, but I'm also like super depressed about it. Because I love my bump. It's so freaking cute, but it also makes me feel like garbage. And I love having the baby out. I want the baby out so bad. Can't wait to see what the baby looks like. So impatient. But also I'm sad about the thought of the baby being out and not being able to feel kicks anymore. Like, it's so confusing. It's like I want the baby to be out, but also be able to still feel kicks. Like, it makes no sense, but I don't know. And then also not knowing if this is going to be my last pregnancy or not. But I know it will be my last one for a very, very, very long time. So yeah, it's about to come to an end and a beginning. So I'm super excited, and I'll see you guys probably when I have the baby next. So wish me luck. Bye guys.